Hey, I'm Chris, and I've had a life goal of trying to make everyone who knows me more or less rich. I feel that's a worthy goal because, hey, who doesn't like money? And you know that you're helping everyone kind of achieve their goals. And if you can help others achieve goals, that means you can contribute to the betterment of humanity. So, my betterment to humanity contribution would be in the form of trying to help everyone brand. And the way of doing this is UBI, or better known as Universal Basic Income. This is a interesting topic, and the ways of making money from it are just agreeing with it. If you're on the side that pushes for universal basic income, just push that and start making videos about branding that. It's a specific brand that you're like, hey, I'm behind this. If you already have a following, just pick a specific, because everyone goes to too many different topics and nothing ever actually gets done. It's just they ride the waves. Universal basic income is, well, something that's going to be essential to the growth of the U.S. as far as I'm concerned. And all you kind of have to do to make money is get people to agree with you. The reason that this will make money is that people automatically will disagree, and you have to figure out, okay, these people that disagree, why? And then you make more money off of creating methods to try to explain. It's like, hey, how about this? And this is what this will do, and this is what this will do. And the more that they're like, I don't care, and they're going to go down their lists of reasons to tear your idea apart. They don't necessarily benefit anything for themselves aside potentially putting up their own platform, but they're not united with others because haters going to hate. That's what we've learned from all the high-end media people, that they don't even read comments because they know people don't matter, blah, 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 blah. It's like, interesting. And that did make a lot of sense, where they're like, yeah, they're not even going to like look at the negative because the negative has no point, because negative people don't really matter. and that's actually, if you actually think about it, disliking something, being, oh, I don't like that, I'm going to take time to be negative, that doesn't benefit anyone. But liking something, hey, I support this, yeah, I'm down, that seems cool, that helps to grow things, and that helps to create things. Creating things is how you get things done. But like negativity, hey, you say something really negative to a person one time, they might not do anything ever again, and like, who knows if they would have did something really cool. Kind of see the point? So it's all about like working together, getting people to work towards a common goal. And universal basic income is, I feel, it handles a lot of different tiers of benefiting the United States with how we have shaped our system, I guess. I'll give you an example of like, oh, okay, well, what do you mean it'll benefit society? Example, I have a bachelor's in criminal justice, so this is why I'm talking about this subject. Okay, law enforcement. It is very difficult for law enforcement to do their jobs. Society as a whole does not trust law enforcement. Why? Well, my opinion is that law enforcement doing traffic is going to always make it where we don't necessarily trust law enforcement. For example, law enforcement officers will get in front of cars, they will speed intentionally over the speed limit, then they'll pull over the vehicle behind them because they knew they were speeding, because obviously they were speeding, but they're a law enforcement officer, and they will give them a ticket. However, this law enforcement officer was not speeding in the course of their duty. So it's like, you as a civilian, you're like, even if it's like, okay, I guess, yeah, because I was breaking the law, I get it, but that's going to make you hate law enforcement a lot. And this is just a minor thing that they do. So there's so many different things that you're just traffic related. Like, I hate law enforcement so much that when you need to, it's like, oh, well, they say, well, when you need law enforcement, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, because we're not going to go to law enforcement. Law enforcement needs us so the proper system can work. And thus, that's where you go. You are going to have this negative opinion about law enforcement. And when you have those negative interactions or things that you're like, this was kind of sketch, you're going to tell a lot more people than the positive interaction you might have had. That's just how it is. And there's going to be a negative connotation around law enforcement as a result. Therefore, by having something such as universal basic income, law enforcement could be the ones to ensure that, hey, we're going to sign up people. AKA, you're going to get fingerprinted, all this kind of stuff to get your universal basic income. That way, if like you have unpaid tickets, you have warrants, you're a criminal, blah, 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 blah. Like, you're not going to get your universal basic income. There's going to be stipulations, of course. We're not just going to be giving away free money. So there's an incentive to, hey, don't commit crimes. Don't do really messed up stuff. Why? Because there's money in it now. As it stands right now, the society that the glorious elder generations have left for us is a society based around crime does pay. Law enforcement is bad at doing their job. And yeah, you literally can make money from committing crimes, going into the system, then coming out of the system, and then talking about it because of people's interest and fear in that. Because it's like, oh no, you're always going to have the market of people that are going into it, the people that are curious, the people that want to know. You used to not be able to profit from your crimes. That was the whole incentive about, not committing crimes. So instead of trying to, the system is designed like in every, I'm not going to go into this because this is hours of conversation, but every single aspect of the criminal justice system in every single way is designed on pure corruption, is designed as a business model to grind the population and drain them of their resources. It is messed up in every single aspect. There is so many wrong things with it, and it is the best in the world. That's how bad the rest of the world's systems are compared to our horribly corrupt system. Now, there are certain things that's like, certain countries have better things because they're also not dealing with the same problems, and we're now watching as these countries that were so glorious are now dealing with some of our real U.S. problems. Yeah, that's what we've been dealing with. It's fun, huh? The U.S. don't want to be dealing with those Southern problems. Holy shit, you guys are dealing with some next level warfare type shit. But the Americas are an interesting place right now. Let's just put it that way. Anyways, money comes from uniting together. So, I'll give you an example. How do you become an artificial billionaire? Think about any YouTuber, TikToker, etc. Anyone with 1 million plus subscribers, followers, etc. Right? Now, imagine if those followers, subscribers, etc. actually gave a shit about that person, and that person gave a shit about those people. Like, because a lot of people are fake, I guess, and they're like, apparently they're not like how they act on camera, which is weird. That'd be so, I don't know, that's cringy to me. But it's like, that's why I'm always saying, it's like, you want to be friends with everyone you possibly can, because as humans, you either are part of the elite, the nobility, and that's old ways of thinking. It's, there's only finite resources, so we need to get this pile of resources together and keep it for our fortress and hoard it. That's the whole thing with dragons and all that. Like, history has been passed down in different ways, and that's the whole thing. Like, you slay the dragon and the riches return to all the people. It's been told on and on, generation after generation after generation. We know that a small percentage of people controlling all the wealth is very bad. That's not shocking. However, Power corrupts, and nobody is fighting for you. That's because it's like once you start getting to those levels, apparently, I don't know. I would love to know why, actually. But you can artificially get there. Now, say you have 1 million subscribers, followers, like I said. What if you're all good for, it's like, hey, I'm going to throw a party. Okay? I need you to bring $1,000. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. I'm throwing 1,000 in. Everyone's going to throw 1,000 in. Are you good for $1,000? When's the party? I don't know. It's going to be a while from now. So you have time to plan. You good for $1,000? Yeah. Okay. You do that. 1 million people. You now have $1 billion. You control a hypothetical $1 billion. Liquid. It can't be taxed. It can't be stolen because no one actually has it. It doesn't exist. What exists is that one person that you all follow, and that's who connects you. Kind of see what I'm going with? So, each one of these things, and then you can break it down into smaller amounts, obviously. Like, say you want to have $1 million controlled by like 1 million pot. That's 1,000 people. 1,000 people at $1,000, $1 million. And that's not an outrageous number. You know what I mean? It's just the billion. It's all just numbers. Like, if you have $1 million tournament, you can have it with smaller people. Say you want to have, if you want to decrease the buy-ins, for example, $100, okay, then 10,000 people. And now 10,000 people control this $1 million tournament. Say you want to have it like a video game tournament or something. See what I'm saying? And then you're creating networks with it, say business networks, et cetera, et cetera. But if you want to decrease the number, that's why I'm saying 1,000. It's a way of like connecting things. So that's kind of the idea there. But yeah, that's pretty much how to get super rich. You just get behind the brand of universal basic income, and then you just keep pushing, connecting. And that's what I'm going to be trying to do. I'm going to be trying to make different networks. And at the end of the day, it creates different pots, creates different things. If you're able to grow as an influencer, that's the way to do it. You're trying to create a closer dynamic because it's not really that complicated. It's the same thing. Like, say I'm having a poker game because I live in Vegas. So I'm having a poker game, right? I invite 9 other buddies over. That would be a $10,000 pot if we're all in at $1,000, right? Okay, so say they then have 10 other buddies, right? We now have a $100,000 pot if we can get, because they each would have 10 other buddies, right? So that's 100. We now have $1,000 each. That's a $100,000 pot. Okay, so say that we could get another 900 people. We now have $1 million pot. And that's not, like, I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so that's not very complicated to me. Like, I train with hundreds of people, and, like, obviously at once, but there's hundreds of people in the schools. So it's like, ooh, every single martial arts school can connect to this to make larger fight programs. I'm not going into this. I've got more, but it's like, this is what I'm trying to make. I'm trying to figure out how to create networks. I'm just not smart enough to get it all together. But it's like, I've got like hundreds of other things. It's just apparently getting people to be like, hey, let's do a bunch of crazy stuff. Works for a company. Try to present things. I figured out how to make everyone, I promised I was going to make everyone millionaires. I figured out a cryptocurrency thing, and I figured I was making money. I was like, hey, this is working. This is working. If we do this, no one cared. No one cared. And I was right. So I really don't understand how to get anyone to listen to me. You let me know. How do I get people to listen to me? Anyways, have a good one.